Welcome to Bloemfontein for continued coverage of the Monster TRP National Motocross Championships. We'll be covering all the remaining classes of what was an absolutely awesome day of racing in Bloemfontein at the BORC Motocross track. Perfect track conditions and a big crowd gathered, and we're going to start the day's racing with the 65cc class. Lots of encouragement there for Hayden Tully, who will be the firm favourite in this first 65cc race. Lots of focus. Dad's giving them the final well wishes as the 15-second board goes up. They'll wait for that to turn to 5 and focus down on the gate. A good start going to be important here. Some thick mud down the start straight for these little 65cc wheels. Everyone will be hoping to get a good start. Good start there on the 222. Looks like it could be Dylan Kirk from Swaziland. Someone from the outside. Looked like the number 20 of Hayden Tully. He's got himself straight to the front. Oh, Narada goes down in that left-hand turn. That looks like it could have been the 222. And you see the marshals on the way to pick up that fallen rider. There you see just how deep the ruts are. The riders having to negotiate some massive ruts out there. Troy Morale all the way from KZN. A good start from the youngster, new to the 65cc class. They're all trying to chase down on the points leader. That is why he has the red plate there, Hayden Tully. The number 33 there of Chase Honeycomb in the mix. A rider from the Eastern Cape that has been right up in the front end of the 65cc class in 2016. The number 17 also buried in the pack, so a good start there for Liam Lambert, one of the new riders to the 65cc class. There is Seventh Heaven, and only a few of the riders getting to the first landing. That is a very big 42-meter step up, step down. Hayden Tully in the front, getting away from the rest of the riders. Not able to clear that big step up. You can see just how wet the track is. These little 65s battling to get some traction out of the turns. So Chase Honeycomb in second place. There is the battle. That's the 331 of Blake Young. He's trying to get past the 199 of Diane Manuel, who's fighting his way through the field. Diane from Zimbabwe. A long trip to Bloemfontein and proving that he's a top candidate in the 65cc class. Looks like the top four starting to close up on each other now. It's going to be a dust to the checker flag, but not for this man. He's got away up in the front. Chase Honeycomb fighting to hold on to second place. Got his hands full though of the riders chasing him down. It's Diane Manuel from Zimbabwe. That is going to be a good finish between those riders. Blake Young there sits in that fourth place at the moment. Starting to get through a couple of the lap riders. Another great shot there of the 17 of Liam Lambert. All the way from Cape Town. Young rider that's improving in leaps and bounds. Oh, little mistake for the 19. That looks like that bike is coming to a standstill for Vian Duploy, the man from Bloemfontein. And there you see Dylan Kirk going past on the 55. Tyler Tarantino, young rider that's making big waves in the 65cc class as we see some aerial action from Hayden Tully. Diane Manuel has now made his way into second place. He's got past Chase Honeycomb. And the Swazi rider, Blake Young, starting to fight into the mix as well. Here comes Hayden Tully, looking for the checkered flag and going to take the win ahead of Zimbabwe's Diane Manuel on the 199.
Thank you. I got the good start and I just went as fast as I can, railed all the ruts, trying to hit all the bumps, take all the smooth lines.
Good ride from the youngster as we go into the big MX1 class. One of the most anticipated races of the day. All the top riders in South Africa on the start line. In fact, the top 7 or 8 have all been going at it for the entire season already. No doubt it'll be a good start from Anthony Raynaud on 23. He'll be hoping to get the points lead in the MX1 class, but it's the number 1 of Karen Fitzgerald going for the inside. The Red Bull KTM with a great start. It's going to be about late breaking down into turn 1. Get some aerial action, and it looks like it is Anthony Raynaud who's been able to hold on to the race lead. The big number 1 right on his tail, though. The reigning champion goes around the outside and hits the lead. So the Red Bull KTM into the front from the Ace Motorsports Husqvarna of Anthony Raynaud. And see Sasha Nordia in third place, the AB Midas Husqvarna. So Husqvarna second and third at the moment. Then we've got Neville Bradshaw in fourth place. Much better start from Ross Brance, also in the mix, one of our top off-road riders in the MX1 class in motocross. Richard van der Westhuizen, multiple South African champion, showing the way through the whoop section as they hit the big step up, step down of Seventh Heaven. As we heard the riders saying, the air time you get there is the very reason it's called Seventh Heaven. They spend a lot of time in the air. Karen Fitzgerald looking for the smooth lines and starting to get away from Anthony Raynaud. In fact, Sasha Nordia has made a pass into second place. Richard van der Westhuizen in the mix, bringing along Neville Bradshaw. Shows you how close all these riders are up on the front. David Goosen at the back of that pack, a rider that's had some wins this year already, and he'll be looking to make a few passes. Richard van der Westhuizen showing he's still got all the talent in the world, and some nice whip action from Wyatt Avis. He was the king of whip in his heyday in the European Motocross Championships. The number 1 of Karen Fitzgerald under a little bit of pressure from the AB minus Husqvarna, and here comes the Husqvarna of Richard van der Westhuizen and Neville Bradshaw out there. There's the 24 on the track. Ross Branch all the way from Botswana, showing you the good style of the KTM racing man. More aerial action of our top few riders and starting to separate just a little bit at the moment. Track getting very demanding, so the riders who have trained the hardest will certainly be getting away at this stage of the race. Wyatt Davis enjoying the hang time out there. And you can see the riders at that 7th heaven. The crowd has gathered there to watch these guys float the entire 42-meter tabletop. There we go. Karen Fitzgerald gets away with this first race win ahead of Sasha Nordia. Great result for the Husqvarna man, just ahead of Anthony Raynaud in 3rd. Moving on to the 125 high school class, known as the Kamikaze Kids. 16 years old and full of testosterone. They'll get ready to get into action. Slade Smith with a great jump out of the gate. The man who's had an injury over the last couple of races, looking to redeem himself with a great whole shot there for ABE minus Husqvarna. It looked like Ricky Roth and Marco de Frey with a good start. Marco de Frey, another Husqvarna rider, into 2nd place. Cale Domail in that 3rd place, a young rider, and Robert Topfer all the way from Swaziland with a great start on the 999. Also seeing not a good start from the championship leader, Keegan Hickson Mahoney. He's buried in the mid-pack. He's going to have to work hard to get up to these guys. Young rider out there on the 21, Matthew Kruger, and his first full season of 125 racing, proving that he's a big candidate. Jordan Fent on the 131. It just shows you how hotly contested this 125 high school class is. Wide open out there as they go through the whoops. Cale Domail lost a couple of positions there. They're going through the whoops. The number 70 of Cam Thompson with a good start, just ahead of the 221 of Vickers van Sandwyk. The 125's the top few riders able to clear that full 7th heaven, but it was a big ask on a 125. Absolutely wide open in 4th gear. Slade Smith, the leading rider out there, but under a little bit of pressure from Marco de Frey. The 2 Husqvarna riders showing the way around the circuit at the moment. Matthew Kruger holding on for dear life as he fights off one of the Tin Swallow out of Africa riders right behind him. The riders going through a very difficult rhythm section. There you can see some riders tripling in. That looked like Ricky Roth. Up and over that big step down, making the way to complete another lap, and it's starting to heat up. Ricky Roth was looking for a way past the 21 of Matthew Kruger. The number 5, Regan Wasmith from Zimbabwe, up inside the top 10, having a great ride. You can see just how rough it's getting. The riders bouncing all over the place going through those turns. No longer is it smooth out there. There's going to be about concentration and focus as Ricky Roth still hunts for a way into that podium position. Keegan Hickson Mahoney starting to fight his way up towards the front. Another great shot of Cam Thompson going through the right-hand turn, just showing you the focus the riders need on this difficult, demanding Bloemfontein circuit. There's Slade Smith up and over that big 7th heaven. Marco de Frey also making it all the way to the landing. Ricky Roth has moved up. Oh, Keegan Hickson Mahoney. How did he manage to hang on to that one? Absolutely short jumping that big jump and landing sideways on top of that. That'll be a big moment for him. We're waiting for the checkered flag, though, for your race leader, the 737, Slade Smith, with a comfortable win in the end. And a great ride ahead of another one of the Husqvarna riders, Marco de Frey. Keegan Hickson Mahoney, the championship points leader, made his way up into 3rd place. Into the Pro Mini class. This is going to be a hotly contested race between 2 very strong riders, Camden McClellan and Cameron DeRoe. The 2 Cams waiting to get themselves to the front, but of course they're going to have some stiff competition. Dalton Fenter back and racing again after a long layoff, and of course Justin Sangster, who has plenty of international experience at this young stage of his life. Nice full field of 85s and Pro Minis combined, and we'll be looking for Jonathan Mlimi and Ike Clarkson in the pack, as well as Hayden Tully. They'll be racing for the 85 junior class somewhere in there. Green flags from the marshals indicating it's clear, and Camden McClellan has got himself to the front. What a great start from the young KTM factory rider. Under pressure, though, from the championship points leader all the way from KZN is Cameron DeRoe, freshly back from a great result in the ADAC German series. All these riders at this stage are fighting for international experience. That's how you get further in your career. Great riding style there from Cameron DeRoe as he makes his way towards the biggest jump on the track, up and over. For a Pro Mini to make it to that bottom landing, you know you've got to be really, really quick. Saw Dalton Fenter only clearing to the first landing. In fact, most of the riders only making that initial step up. So Camden McClellan still leads this one. Under pressure, though, from the 58 of Cameron DeRoe. How long can Dalton Fenter hang in the mix? His fitness will be in question. We know that he's got pace and riding style for days. Looks like they're starting to edge away. In fact, there's Dalton Fenter choosing that inside line this time around. And we go to the front end of the 85 junior class. Jonathan Mlimi on the 259 having a great ride. And it's Justin Sangster that makes his way past on a Pro Mini machine. So Camden McClellan gets his weight off the back of the bike as he stays ahead of Cameron DeRoe. Dalton Fenter Looks like just starting to back off the pace a little bit. Here comes Justin Sangster. He's moved up into 4th place now, and just ahead of Jonathan Mlimi, who leads out in the 85 junior class. A great ride from him, ahead of Ike Claassen. You can see the top riders buried in the pack now, and that is the 57 of Jonathan Blum having a great ride amongst some of the Pro Mini riders. The track is starting to get very rough now, and Cameron De Roo taking advantage of that nice sweeping line around the outside, looking for a way past Camden McClellan. Getting very close there now. In fact, Camden McClellan starting to put the pressure. Dalton Venter with a nice whip flare from us, showing you that he's just starting to relax a little bit and doesn't have the stamina to stay with these guys just yet. No doubt it won't be long before he's up and racing for the front with these guys when he's back to full fitness. Dalton Venter cruising into the right-hand turn. You can see there a couple of mistakes creeping in as he starts to tire out. Has to be careful though. The 51 Justin Sangster starting to close the gap. Jonathan Mlimi still leads the way in the 85 junior class. A long look over his shoulder and no need. Got a little bit of a gap. Dad watches on casually so. Yuri Mlimi, big support of his kids out there. Of course, Jonathan leading the 85 junior class. The 46 on the track enjoying a good ride as well. Grant Hutting, be loving the conditions here. I was ahead of the 115 AJ Fasaki. Back to the front runners and Camden McClellan. There is that big step down that Cameron De Roo getting right over the top of. Justin Sangster still pushing hard in 4th place. You can see Dalton Venter just up the track. Question is whether he's got enough time. The checkered flag is waiting and we've got a new race leader. So Cameron De Roo has found his way to the front and taken the win ahead of Camden McClellan literally towards the end of this race.
Yeah, the track's really nice. It's quite similar to overseas. There's deep ruts. They've watered it really nice. The track's been prepped perfectly. And yeah, had a good day.
Yeah, my arm's good. It's 100% now. Yeah, I'm feeling good. The bike's fast, comfortable. And yeah, I'd just like to thank all my sponsors, Red Bull, KTM, Forcefield, Motorex, Thor, 100%, and all my other sponsors behind me.
MX1 Race 2, we saw all the action from Race 1 where Karen Fitzgerald was able to come away with the win. The Husqvarna riders were all over his tail though. Can they make a change in this race? Another great start from the number 1. That's what he needed to get to the front nice and early. And Karen Fitzgerald is your race leader. Great start from Sasha Nordia into 2nd place. Anthony Reynard. Then it comes a few KTMs and likes of Ross Branch. Wesley Deploy, he's been on the up of late and looking to get himself towards the front end of the field. Richard Van der Westhuizen makes a pass up the inside of Neville Bradshaw. So hot racing action here. Neville Bradshaw has fought his way back again. There's Wyatt Avis. The Bloemfontein circuit proving to be a big challenge for these riders. Good to see that man on 66 back on the track. Wade Den, a big talented rider, and nice to see him back on the track after a long layoff from the sport. Karen Fitzgerald up in the front over 7th Heaven. There you see Neville Bradshaw hunting for a way. He wants to get up inside the top 3 and some big whips there for Wyatt Avis. The rest of the track starting to get some big ruts in it. The riders having to work their way around. You see Karen Fitzgerald getting the back end a little out there. Would have set him up nicely though for the next right-hander. South African champion, former South African champion we should say, in the Husqvarna is Sasha Nordia. Karen Fitzgerald has been in control of the front end of this race and going to take away another victory. Well, we were able to catch up with our top 3 riders after the race.
Championship lead in both classes, I think, with the points today, so it was a good day.
Yeah, I tried my best, just got good starts today. Kieran's was just a bit better, and we're both running maximum pace, I think, and I just noticed I made a few more mistakes, but happy with the progress, and Kieran just rode excellent start to finish.
Got good starts and it made it easy. Not that it was easy, but easier. So Sasha and all the guys were riding really well. I just got good starts and put myself in good places, so I'm happy.
In the Thor results roundup, we go through the official results from round 3 of the South African National Motocross Championship in Bloemfontein. In the 65cc class, Hayden Tully comes away with a win, a perfect day for him, ahead of Zimbabwe's Diane Manuel and Blake Young in 3rd place from Swaziland. In the 85cc's, Jonathan Mlimi comes away with a win ahead of Cape Town's Ike Claassen. Hayden Tully, great result in 3rd place. He's ahead of Nate McClellan and Leonard Du Toit, who finished time points. Cameron De Roo comes away with a win in the Pro Mini class. Great race between him and Camden McClellan. Dalton Venter, good return to the sport, finishing in 3rd place. In the high school class, Slade Smith, nice return from injury to take the win there ahead of the championship points leader Keegan Hickson Mahoney. Marco de Frey on his Husqvarna finished in third. In the MX1 class, Karen Fitzgerald completed a perfect day with wins in the MX1 and MX2. Sasha Nordia in second place ahead of Anthony Reynard in third.